Yo, what's good people? It's JayCactus, and in today's video, first of all, I'm celebrating 10k subscribers, which I still can't get my head around it, man. It was only like 3 months ago that I hit 1k, so I appreciate you all for supporting the movement. We're just sorting out a few last bits for the 10k special video, so hopefully that's going to be live on Thursday. And I've also just launched a Discord, so if you're interested in getting feedback on your beats, collabing with other producers and entering competitions, or just chatting about music production or other things in general, then check the link out in the description. But in this video, I'm just going to cook up something from scratch and show you a few tips and techniques along the way. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this beat. I'm just going to start with a piano, come up with a melody, and then maybe change the instruments and just see what I can come up with. So I'm going to work in D sharp minor and just come up with some simple chords to start it. But maybe invert these two. So it's sounding quite tight. So maybe and then maybe come down for the last one. Alright, so now that I've got the chords, I can make it a bit more interesting and strum them. So to strum, you can press Alt and S and then adjust the time here. But I'm going to do mine manually because I just want it on like a step for each one. So just the same for each chord, just to give it a different vibe. And now I can start cutting some of the notes just to get a bit more of a melody going. Something like that. Maybe cut 2 notes here. I can copy these across and maybe switch it up in the second part. So maybe just at the end here I can cut this one and then add another note here. Maybe just cut this last one and add some bass notes. So for the bass notes, it should just work if I use the bottom notes of each chord. That didn't always work, but I think it will this time. Yeah, and then the same again. Then I'm going to randomize the velocity just by pressing Alt and R. I've just copied the piano so I can come up with some kind of count melody. So something like that. I can record this in and then change some of the notes. So I've just quantized it by pressing Ctrl and Q, changed some of the notes, and now I've got this. But I'm thinking I can find a better instrument, just switch it up a little bit rather than just a piano. Now I've added an EQ and a phaser just to get the melody sounding a little bit different. For the hi-hats, I'm just going to start with a simple bounce and then add some rolls in. And you know what, for the rolls, I think I might bring these down an octave. So just these quick rolls here. Alright, so for the 808, as you probably already know, you should bring everything down apart from the hold. And that way the note's only going to play for as long as you hold it. And now I can start putting in some bass notes. So an easy way to start off would be to just put some bass notes here, following the melody. I can pitch them up. And from here you can add in the slide notes and adjust the rhythm just to get it sounding a bit harder. So I'm thinking 2 slides here. Alright, so I've switched it up a little bit for the second half, and now for the full 808 pattern I've got this. It's got a nice bounce to it, so I can add a kick. And this is the drum kit I've been working on as well, so for the kicks I'm going to have like 20 in there, 20 808s, and then bag of claps and snares and all the usuals you get in kits. So when there's quite a lot of punch at the beginning of the 808, if you bring up the attack a little bit, it kind of smooths it out. So I just want to save some room for the kick. Be about there. Alright, so now I'm thinking add an open hat. I'm going to adjust the open hat like I do my 808s just because some of the notes I want a bit shorter. And then I'm going to pan these open hats manually just to get a different vibe. Now I'm just going to add in another perk, like a rim shot, just where there's some gaps. And then with the panning of these, I'm just going to do it opposite to the hi-hats, or the open hats. So you can see the ghost notes. So that one's panned right, I'm going to pan this one left. I just want to add some balance. Alright, so I'm thinking the beat's getting a little bit busy now. There's a lot going on, and I know that I need to save room for an artist. So I'm just going to start arranging it. I'll mix it properly and then I'll show you the outcome. Alright, so I've mixed and arranged everything, and I didn't really add too much to it, just a couple of effects and crashes. And for the intro, I added halftime, and then you can see that I've used some certain effects like shaper box and effectrix. I've just used the phaser and effectrix, but that only comes in at certain points, as you can see here. And then in shaper box, I just reversed the end of the melody. So I'm gonna just play it and you'll hear how it sounds. So I'll just talk you through what I've done. So the intro, that's just the normal melody, then that counter melody comes in for a little bit. I added some ambient effects and some crashes. This just fit perfect in it. And then this shaper box here, all it's doing is just reversing the end of the melody. So if I play that by itself, you can hear right at the end it starts to reverse. Just to add some variation. And then the same again here. And you can also see that I've changed the 808 pattern. So the 808 pattern is a bit more subtle at the start. And then I've changed the kick pattern to match it. And then I've done a few breaks with the hats. And then I've just brought the open hats in a bit later. And then the rim shot a bit later after that. Just so everything's not playing at the same time constantly. Now you can hear the phaser coming in. So this part here is basically a bridge before the hook. So I've just added a reverse crash just to rise into it, and then all of the energy dips out. And then the counter melody comes back in. And then the effect comes back in too. And then the only other thing I added was this pad here. And then that basically repeats. And then just for the outro, usually I'll copy the hook and have it fade out, but I just thought I'd switch up for this one. And now it just ends quite suddenly on one bass note. Just a different way to end it. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you were feeling the beat. As I said, I didn't really plan anything for this one. I just wanted to cook a beat up and then show you a couple techniques when you're making melodies and arranging them. Hopefully the 10K special video is dropping on Thursday, and I'll be doing a big giveaway then too, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'll see you next time.